Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. Over the last couple of weeks, as we've been playing hardcore, we've received a lot of interesting comments about what we do. Because we're trying to get items, we're trying to get some Paragon levels, and people have been playing Diablo for a long time. People have been playing Diablo when we haven't, so they're trying to tell us, you gotta do this route to get the best experience. You gotta play on monster power, or whatever, to get the best legendaries and all that stuff. And there's one element that's really not being factored into all this decision-making process that's pretty much at the heart of what we do in Diablo. It's the element of risk in playing hardcore. And Crippy and I and the other guys who played with us in hardcore, we were very good at managing risk, because that's always the factor. When you're trying to optimize your time in softcore in Diablo 3, you're pretty much going on, your variables are time, number of legendaries, and amount of experience, and you want to kind of, maximize what you get out of experience and items, and minimize the amount of time you want to invest. But for hardcore, you have the last variable, which is risk management. You want to evaluate the risk. Is it really worth it? Because it takes a long time to get to a high paragon level. It takes a very long time to get a good amount of gear, and sometimes you're playing with risk factors that you're not always going to have full control over, and that's something that becomes a problem. When Crippy and I, when we got the only Inferno Diablo kill on hardcore before the nerfs, our real strength was risk management, because we were able to do everything that we did prior on softcore in similar gear, practice it, and we understood a lot of the elements such as disconnects and all that other stuff, and we try to make it work. But in Diablo 3, I've kind of come to a new kind of problem. You see, I've started to evaluate a lot of the things that I've been doing in Diablo, and a lot of them pose a risk from bugs and shit that exists in the game still. So a reason why I haven't really tried the Whirlwind spec quite yet is because of gear, but it's also because of the fact that when I played Whirlwind on softcore, I would disconnect like crazy. And I've tried to do some research on the matter, and some people given their bit of advice, but it's not something I can test so easily. So stuff like that, it's difficult, because right now I want to try to plan out a spec for the future, and I want to try to plan out a farming route for the future, and I have to optimize all these factors, and stuff like that kind of poses a problem. Another problem was with the ability to charge. See, I was also thinking of making like a charge bar, but that doesn't necessarily work. A couple of days ago when I uploaded a video of Crippy almost dying, basically that was the charge bug. He charged and you can't use anything on his character, and in many cases you do become immune to damage. We don't know if that was the exact case there, but it probably was in retrospect. But I've read up on the matter, and in many cases you do not go invulnerable. Your character just dies, and potentially such a case could have happened a couple of days ago. I'll show you guys a clip.
To go around through the entire place.
Whenever someone says there's no real money auction house in the game, I always have to say there's always a real money auction house.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on. My character's like bugged.
Like, there's a real money auction house in WoW.
What the fuck am I supposed to do right now?
BioBreak?
No, I have to leave the game. Hopefully I can make it here. I actually got like stuck with charge.
Yeah, if you get stuck with charge, you have to leave the game.
So as you see, as I have seen, I've reviewed the footage, I've played it in slow motion, again and again. There's really nothing special that I did. There were a bunch of mobs, I was between them, I charged out, and my character was bugged. How do I prepare for that? I can't. My one way out, my only way to manage it, is to stack a senseless amount of survivability so that I can have a 10-second grace period to leave the game once it happens. And that's another thing. When when people compare, you know, their characters to what they do on softcore. It's like, yeah, you know what, $600 is 6K armor? Dude, MP10, man, MP10. You know, for me, it's not really like that because, you know, if I do a slip up, if I make a mistake, it's over. If I disconnect, it's more than over. If I get a charge bug, you know, want to flip a coin on your character's life? I don't think so. So it's a very peculiar thing to manage the risk and to manage the bugs that you can foresee occurring to your character, because, you know, hardcore is just that. It's hardcore. There's no second chances. There's no forgiveness based on your disconnects, on your lag, on what happened here and there. It's raw. It's what it is, and you know, we're gonna try our best to prepare for it. But you know, as it's always the case, the bugs, the DCs, and all the semi-unforeseen variables, they're gonna pose a problem, and hopefully I can avoid them. But in the end, I'll likely die to one. But until then, I'm gonna have some fun in hardcore, and if you guys have any suggestions to how to fix these bugs or anything like that, I definitely welcome them, because, you know, that's the limitation. I mean, for hardcore you get the thrill, but at the same time you have to do seemingly easier things just to compensate for all these freak accidents that can happen to your character over its long lifespan. Some things to be learned. See you guys tomorrow.